what is the concrete quantity that we can work with a child, and we make a connection across to the discussion, because we know discussion is absolutely critical, as you saw in the components of number sense. The central part of that is language. So the language has to support the understanding of the concrete, and only when that connection is made can we move to that third idea, which is the symbolic. So before they even get to the symbolic, they should understand the quantity and be able to have discussions and explain the structures that are embedded within that quantity, and eventually we can get to the symbolic realm.
Prototype for lesson construction is basically a path that helps me understand where we're going and then the best way to get there. So when I'm looking at the prototype, I understand that I have to start with the basics, start back with the building blocks, something that is concrete, something that is, touchable, visual, and then from there make sense of it with language, make sense of it with some type of representation that the students can understand. And then from there, as they work their way through that part, deepening the understanding, talking about it with the language, we can then start to depart from the concrete representational into the abstract, which then will help the students to be more efficient mathematicians.
Well, I approach lesson planning a lot different than I did before in the past, because many times I was very much a paper pencil. It was, okay, let's show the strategy on paper pencil, and now you do it on paper pencil. Where now there's more of the manipulatives that I start with. And then after the manipulatives, then we kind of even draw it out still on paper, even if it's paper pencil. And then after that, we start using the regular terminology with the division signs and using that. So I think it's kind of a progression, where before it was really not a progression. It was just strict paper pencil, okay, let's do this strategy.